The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Hey guys, it's Daniel Smooth, host of Time to BS. Being a part of Belly Up brings along some cool stuff and partners to join our crazy journey, that's for sure. Like Manscaped, for instance. Finally, a way to delicately clean and trim your Fremundas without cutting them. Because that'll hurt like hell. Use the promo code BellyUpFantasy at manscaped.com for 20% off your next order. That's BellyUpFantasy in all caps at manscaped.com.
It's time to BS.
So before we started recording, we had a delightful issue of technology. Only this time it was me. Anywho, Jack's here.
Hi. Typically it's my issue on my end.
It usually is your problem from time to time. I mean, you kind of are a tech geek, so... Kind of.
It takes a long time to, understand and adapt to my crazy 3-monitor setup.
You have 3 monitors?
I have 3 monitors.
Why do you have... Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a gamer.
Yeah. What did you think?
You're professional. You're professional.
That's, and I also need to watch football on the side. So.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But speaking of gaming, you're going to like what I started playing over the weekend.
What'd you start playing?
The first Destiny game.
Really?
I just started playing it. And I gotta say, not bad. It is fun. It's pretty fucking fun.
Okay.
I sense Jack is not amused.
I mean, I've never been a Destiny guy. I know what the game is, and I know it's kind of like what its impact has been, but it's not like Destiny's not my first choice.
Yeah. Well, sure. Let's go with that.
Anyway.
Do you often think of the Roman Empire?
Why
I don't know, because that's one of the topics. I mean...
Do I often think... No, I don't really think of the Roman Empire that often.
Really?
No.
You don't think of the Roman Empire at all?
It's a complete meme is what's going around in the world right now.
Let me have my fun, damn it. Oh, that's why. That's why this fucking thing is not working. I found out why. The fucking cable's loose.
See, that's always something that I concern myself with. We talked about my setup, and you don't see what's underneath the desk.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's atrocious.
Oh god, it's a nightmare.
Oh good lord. You know who I think unplugged it?
Donut.
Princess Donut, the first of her name. Destroyer of Worlds, a consumer of catnip. That is her official title.
I love it.
Speaking of bullshit, the McRib is making its glorious return.
Is there now?
Yeah, it is. It's coming back from the dead, like The Undertaker.
Did not hear about this.
Yeah. IGN, of all places, reported it. Of all things. Anyway, we're coming to you from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York. It's time to be with Daniel Smooth and Jack.
We haven't spoken for a while, not since the Rams beat the ever-loving crap out of your team.
Yeah.
Week 1. The situation's changed for both teams a little bit since
I kind of jinxed it, though, the second I texted you a picture of shirtless DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
I realized that, halfway, and I'm like, I jinxed myself horribly. Since then, however, he's had a great start to the year, and he looks fantastic.
Oh my god, the Commanders cannot cover DJ Moore right now.
No shit, really? Justin Fields is playing good?
so far he's playing decent. He just found I was watching the game, and he had a really long third down completion. There were two players in the secondary on Washington who were completely beat by DJ Moore, and then EJ Fields just beat him on the same side of the field. I don't know if it was against the same two guys, but he went to the same side of the field in the end zone. That was third down and 14.
Good Lord. Yeah, so your Rams are 2-2 to start the year. And we have the birth of a glorious tribe.
The tribe of Puka Nakua.
Yes. I want to get a soundboard of just like Ugandan Knuckles.
Oh my God! I wonder if my soundboard would work on Skype.
I wonder these things
because a virtual soundboard. I need to see if it works on Skype.
I want to put Pumpkin Hill and Ugandan Knuckles on the soundboard. We all like Pumpkin Hill. After all, it is the beginning of October.
It is.
So we all love to go to Pumpkin Hill.
A lot more.
Yeah, we do. We do. But Jack, the Rams, I mean, yeah. They look good.
They look better than I think people realize, which is kind of what
you said.
Me and any sane Rams fan has been saying.
Coaching matters.
All offseason, that this team is better than I think people realize, and you're starting to see it now with how honestly I think the Rams have been in just about every game that they've played this season. They're 2-2. I think realistically, I do think they could be 4-0. That sounds like bias, but they were a touchdown away from beating San Francisco. If they just turned the ball, if Kyron Williams didn't bobble a pass that got picked off, they would have won that game. If Cooper Kupp was healthy too, probably is another argument you can make. Or if Sean McVay just decides to run the football against the Bengals on Monday Night Football, they probably win that game too. They had the Bengals where they wanted them. They were running with them defensively, but I don't know why Sean McVay was just outcoached himself. He was I need to pass the ball more often, and he kept putting Stafford in dangerous situations. Stafford got sacked 9 times that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's not when your downhill running attack, especially with Kyron Williams now sort of coming into his own, is driving your whole offensive force this season. That's kind of what I don't know. That's what the Rams just needed to do in that Monday night game, and they probably would have won that. So realistically, they could be 4-0 right now.
The Cardinals look decent-ish. Ish.
They beat the Cowboys. That's not a small feat this year.
No. I mean, Josh Dobbs looks good.
It's funny to me how he looks like a starting caliber quarterback right now, and he's not supposed to be the starter, but not Kyron Williams, what the hell am I saying? Kyler Murray is dealing with injury stuff right now.
Well, he's recovering from an ACL, so.
Yeah.
So you really can't expect much from that thing. I mean, do you still think San Francisco's a fraud?
We're gonna find out. I mean, they're. I think that was probably my big complaint about them last season was they had such a pillow soft schedule last year, and so far this year. I mean, again, I made my point about the Rams game, but otherwise, what? Who else have they played that's realistically stood in their way? The Giants, the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I don't even remember the fourth team, but you get what
Pittsburgh.
This. Oh my God! See, even worse. The Rams were the only team that's given them any trouble this season.
So I have in front of me the Niners' upcoming schedule. Sunday Night Football against Dallas at home, at Cleveland, at Minnesota, home against San Francisco, at Jacksonville, home against the Baker Mayfield led Buccaneers, who are 3-1, by the way. Shock of the day.
That needs to be talked about.
Yes. At Seattle for Thanksgiving football, at Philadelphia, home against Seattle the following week. At Arizona, Baltimore, at Washington, and then home against the Rams to close out the year.
I don't know. Dallas, honestly, right now seems like the toughest team in their way, and I think that's kind of like the test that they need to have.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't really played any team. Like, again, I think the Rams are the only team that's giving them trouble. And,
Yeah.
you know, if I don't know, if Dallas can't beat them, I mean, you're really only looking at like Philadelphia. They don't even play the Eagles, and like the Eagles are probably the toughest.
Well, they do
team.
play Philadelphia.
Oh,
They're
okay, so
in between both Seahawk games, they play Philadelphia.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the
In Philly.
the Eagles are probably, and like Cowboys are probably going to be the only like true test for them again. So like that's kind of the thing. Like they've had such. Well, I'm not saying they're a bad team.
It's a blatant disrespect.
The opponents are just. I have disrespect for their opponents. Their opponents don't know. Well, I have disrespect for the Niners too, obviously.
Well, yeah,
rival, but you know, you get what I mean. Like there's not really anyone that's like imposing right now outside of Philadelphia, outside of Dallas, like,
and maybe like 2 teams in their division. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
because the Rams play them tough all the time.
Sometimes they do.
Most of the time.
Other times they blow 17-point leads, but that game is irrelevant, so I don't even know why I bring that up.
We don't talk about these things.
I'll talk about that one because that was our Super Bowl year, but
yeah. I
don't know. It's just like a weird I'm talking like about this like I'm trying to cope with like a 9-game regular season loss streak against
process. Them. Trust the process.
Exactly.
It is a long fucking season.
It is, and it's like, you know, injuries can happen. The Niners aren't going to stay perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
All year.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say that, it's true.
Perfection is flawed. Yes. Perfection is very flawed. We see it happen all the time where you have these undefeated teams, like 12 games in the year, fall apart. Pittsburgh a few years back was 11-0, and they lost to a terrible Washington team.
Pittsburgh was in a weird situation. I don't think that team was good. Like realistically, you could look at all of their results for those first 11 games, and it's like, realistically, they probably should have lost a lot of those games.
Yes.
Didn't.
Yeah.
And so, like, they were probably, like, when people are making, like, their power rankings throughout the year, you see that you have this team at 11-0, and nobody wants to put them on top because they know as soon as they get out that one loss, they're going to just go right down the power rankings.
Yeah.
So. And they got absolutely exposed by Cleveland in the first round, so.
Did you see Monday Night Football?
Oh, boy.
Why do I have a weird feeling that So Monday Night Football happens. The Seahawks destroy the Giants. Granted, Daniel Jones in that. Well, the whole offensive line sucks for the Giants. That whole team is just weird.
The Giants are a circus act.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a complete mess, disaster, laughingstock, whatever you want to say. I don't take them seriously anymore.
Playoff
team last year, this year, ugh.
Hard to say.
No, it's not hard to say.
Do you think they made a serious mistake paying Daniel Jones?
I think they need to invest in their O-line more, which is probably the biggest understatement of the year because, 11 sacks?
Yep. 2 by Devin Witherspoon, by the way. Who, by the way, holy shit. That man can hit.
How did you feel, by the way, about Mr. Prez, about that whole situation there?
I texted you when he got hurt with a concussion.
Oh, you did?
I was so excited when he got out, and I said, and he's hurt. It's like, God fucking damn it.
It's gone. It's literally...
Pretty much, it's that South Park meme, yes.
Yep.
It's that South Park meme, yeah. Pretty much. But, Witherspoon had 2 of the Seahawks' 11 sacks and a pick 6.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, that was just such an incompetent performance out of the Giants, and it's like it's not the first time this season on primetime where they just looked like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Happened to Dallas.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
against Dallas, not to Dallas.
Against San Francisco is the other one.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants just like... Well, I think they actually made that one a little closer than it probably should have been.
Yeah.
Still, though, I don't think it was that close, actually.
I think Seattle has a giant test in 2 weeks after their bye against Cincinnati. Because the Bengals' offensive line is not very good, but that offense is terrifying.
Like, the Bengals are in such a weird spot right now.
They really are.
They really are. Like, Joe Burrow, I don't know what. Like, it's okay.
What happened?
It's his calf. He's dealing with that still.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just not like letting him play up to the like full potential. I think I don't know when Jamar can't get going because Jamar Chase apparently is always effing open. So it's like,
yeah.
When they can get him going, then you have weird games like you saw against the Rams where like Jamar Chase was kind of like the only one doing anything in that game.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're not able to get him going, they're not able to get that connection working. It's like, what are you going to do?
You mentioned a player that got hurt at Monday night, Jamal Adams. Can we revisit that trade, please? So, I'm sure you see it all the time on Twitter and Instagram where Jet fans will continuously say they won the trade. Right?
Yeah.
You see it all over U Stadium. You see it all over Twitter. Jet fans will say, "Oh, Jamal Adams, the Jets won the trade." Big dick energy syndrome. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, okay, so I did some research, my friend. On July 20th, 2020, the Jets traded former 6th overall pick safety Jamal Adams to the Seattle Seahawks for 2 first-round picks, 1 third-rounder, and starting safety Bradley McDougald. Since that trade, Jamal Adams has played 25 games, has missed 28 in 4 years with the Seahawks, including 16 last year after playing 1 in 2022. That was the Russell Wilson return game against Denver. The Jet fans, however, will continuously say they won the trade. However, the Jets' record since that trade is 14-40.
The Jets are cursed. I think that needs to be said right here.
No, they're cursed. We know we've known this.
Cursed.
We've known this for
nothing new.
For 10 years, we've known this. But
you're seeing it this season too because they should have Aaron Rodgers playing for them right now. But
I don't think we'll get to their Sunday night performance against the Kansas City Swifties. But like, Jet fans, shut the fuck up. Like you did. Let's just agree that no one won the trade. Okay? Unless Jamal Adams becomes Sean Taylor in his prime.
If he comes back and they win a Super Bowl or they make a deep playoff run,
then yes, Seattle wins the trade.
Probably, yeah. Which is ironic enough because the Jets were on the verge of making I say on the verge, but we don't know how they
a quote-unquote Super Bowl run.
Probably could have done it.
And then 4 plays in, bam, there goes his Achilles. 4 plays.
I hated that as a football fan.
Oh, I hated it, but I loved it for Jet fans. I loved it. I specifically love it because I want all of the sodium. Oh, good Lord.
There's a lot of sodium chloride involved in that one, to be sure, but, like, what are you going to do? Like, it sucks.
Oh, it sucks. It does.
Aaron Rodgers can't control when his Achilles gets torn.
No, can't.
Underhanded throw by Justin Fields. Wasn't complete. It was way out of bounds, but
yeah. I mean, but here's a bright side. On Sunday night, Zach Wilson looked sharp-ish.
He did.
He looked really good against the defending world champions.
Yeah, I mean, I think he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, honestly.
Shockingly.
Mahomes got bailed out by a handful of calls. But
good. Can I
got him in the ref ball, people. I got him talking ref ball.
people want to argue and say, oh, the Chiefs are such a great football team. Yeah, they are. But at the same point, let's travel back in time, shall we? To the last 15-ish years. You know, before Mahomes' first MVP season in 2018, what delightful team was running roughshod over the NFL for 15 plus years?
Patriots.
The evil empire in New England. And we'll talk about them later. But what has happened?
Oh my.
So.
Okay, first of all, I hate to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Watch the Bears.
Your microphone just cut out, Jack. Oh, shit. We have technical difficulties. Technical difficulties by Jack. Oh, shit. This is great. Well, nope, that's just great. Connection died. Hold on. Jack's back.
We didn't have to start from scratch there.
No, we don't. We don't.
Okay, good.
We don't.
I hate Spectrum. I can't guarantee that I won't disconnect again either.
We're 20 minutes in. We're not restarting. Thankfully, I figured out the pause feature on this thing.
Thank God. Again, I can't guarantee that won't happen again. So hopefully.
Oh God, that's hilarious. But yeah, so the NFL has had this notorious habit that predates Brady, to where they will, let's face it, dick suck the most marketable teams. The NBA has been doing it since Michael Jordan, where they see marketable player or team and they decide to throw all the dicks in their face. The NFL is horribly notorious for this.
I think just about every sports league does that, honestly.
With the exception of maybe baseball.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But even then, they gave a slap on the wrist to the Astros.
That's true, too.
So, what does that even matter, really? But, so let's recap, shall we? Kansas City and New York play a hyped-up Sunday Night Football game this past weekend. The Chiefs win 23-20. And you might be thinking, oh, Kansas City escaped a close game. Oh, the Jets played well against the defending champions. What you didn't see was an obvious, and I mean obvious, holding call by Chiefs left tackle Donovan Smith on Jermaine Johnson of the Jets. And I mean notoriously obvious. And it was on a 3rd and 20. Patrick Mahomes runs up the middle, first down. Play wasn't called. Sauce Gardner of the Jets and Jordan Whitehead of the Jets are playing the football like they're playing the pass like you play a layup in basketball, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're supposed to do that as a defensive back. You're supposed to play the ball. Holding on Sauce Gardner. So you're telling me that was holding, but Donovan Smith, front choking Jermaine Johnson is not holding.
I mean, it's just I don't know what to say about
They
that.
can't hide the fact that they're dick sucking the Chiefs. They cannot hide it.
No.
And I completely understand. And Jack, I'm going to bring up the NFC title game from a few years ago in a perfect example. New Orleans was supposed to play New England in the Super Bowl, and that would have been an amazing game.
See, the funny thing is, I think you have to look at some outside circumstances in that one too.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, that, I think that specifically is kind of a bad example because yes, it was pass interference, but that's not the reason they lost the game.
Yeah, no, that's complete. Well, that's the most notable example.
Would it contribute? Sure, but
yes.
You can't. It's not like they the the Saints didn't have to let the Rams kick a field goal to tie the game. The Saints didn't. Drew Brees didn't have to throw a pick in overtime at home.
No, that's like, complete. Those are bigger reasons than that obvious pass interference call that was not called. And the NFL later called Sean Payton and says, "Yeah, we messed up that." You're telling me that the National Football League, which prides itself on making the game fair and, all of this bullshit, they say the right things. I get it. But don't do shit like this. I get it. It's the Jets. And I get it. It's Kansas City, your golden child. But for God's sakes, don't make it so effing obvious to where, like, we went through for 20 years with the Patriots, where they were getting every single call,
every roughing the passer. Like, honestly, Tom Brady was still getting those when he was with the Bucks. Like, just every call.
Yeah,
it's like kind of a superstar effect too. Like, it's not even just like with the players, but or the teams, but they have those marketable players too, like Tom Brady, like Patrick Mahomes. Like, they're just. It feels like they get every call.
Yeah. And then, perfect example, that year where that year's AFC title game, Kansas City and New England. Chris Jones was called for roughing the passer for tapping Brady on the helmet. Like, I know Dick Butkus unfortunately passed away earlier today. Rest in peace, Hall of Famer. But you put Tom Brady in that era, he breaks his legs 14 times over.
Yeah.
Absolutely he does. Don't believe me? There was a certain player from the Raiders back in the 70s, nicknamed the Assassin, Jack Tatum. Jack Tatum famously paralyzed a man ironically, from the Patriots in 1972. I think that was some year in the 70s. But when your name is the Assassin, Jack Tatum, you put Jack Tatum in today's NFL, he's out of the league because of how much the league benefits calls in favor of these star players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean this truthfully. The Chiefs should have lost that game against the Jets. New York's defense played out of their effing minds against that team.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe I'm saying that.
It's crazy to think, but it's 100% true. Like, the Jets
got host.
They were just the better team. They were the better team in that game.
Jets got host. Jets absolutely got host.
I don't, it sucks to think about because they were clearly the worst team. Or the Chiefs were clearly the worst team in that game, and it was just like, boy.
Say what you want about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Say what you.
That's just the marketability side.
That's just the marketing side of things, which I will absolutely get to in that regard.
We have heard about that more than enough. Let's be real.
Yes, just enough, please. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs failed to reach expectations because of Miss Swiftie, and that would be hilarious.
You're just getting extra outside pressure too from a bunch of people. Not that Travis Kelce cares, or he'll pretend not to care, but yeah,
Mr. Super Trooper doesn't give a shit.
My God, the Commanders cannot tackle DJ Moore.
Isn't Ron Rivera a defensive coach?
Is he?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he was on the 85 Bears.
They had 3 people trying to tackle DJ Moore just now.
Hold on.
Barely shove him out of bounds.
Ron Rivera was on the 85 Bears as a backup linebacker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember this. And he was a defensive coach for the Eagles when Jim Johnson was around. And Ron Rivera's defensive coordinator happens to be Jack Del Rio. Put 2 and 2 together. I don't know, but like it's weird. But I've had a lot of time to think about like the NFL's sausage sucking of the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it's so effing obvious.
That's kind of how it just has been, though. Like, it's not like...
It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Like, it's not like it's just going to change in the blink of an eye as much as we complain about it.
No, it's not. It's not going to change about because the NFL is a business. Say what you... In the end, this little game that we love, that we talk about, that we rant on, that some of us have tattoos about on their biceps... This game is a business. That is all it is. It is a business, and what is the end goal of every business? To make the most money.
Exactly. They don't give a shit as long as they're making money.
Yeah, and you saw this numerous fucking times with the Colin Kaepernick situation, with Tom Brady over the 20 years, Peyton Manning, so debatable, but, you know, you saw, like, it depending on which market was bigger with the teams they're playing against. It happens all the time.
You know what? And, like, this is going to sting a little bit to say, but that's kind of the only reason why the Rams went back to LA was because money. Like, they were going to make more money doing it. It was smarter for them financially, and it's working for them, too. Like, you can see it.
It's working, yes, unbelievably.
You see it all the time with, like, their reports on, like, Forbes and whatnot. Like, they're like getting unprecedented growth every year financially.
They built a new effing stadium because of it.
That was their plan initially, and they're still getting their money's worth out of it. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah, Stan Kroenke, amazing.
$5 billion stadium, though.
It's a nice effing building.
It is. I've been there a couple times.
It's a nice effing building. Is it really?
Really, really nice. Yeah.
Good shit.
It is really nice. They did a great job there. Like, every single time I go to SoFi, I'm going to be blown away.
Because you're down the street from there, right? Ish?
No, I'm not. I'm not that close at all.
You're in Inglewood.
No.
You're not?
No.
Where are you again?
I'm in Santa Clarita, which is really far away from Inglewood. It's in LA County, but it's
it's a small county in Los Angeles. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in LA County is where I'm in.
Okay, that makes sense now. All right.
I'm like a good hour or so away from SoFi.
All this time I thought you were in Inglewood for some reason. No. All right. You learn something every day. How about that?
There you go.
Huh.
Yeah, no, that's probably not happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a little bit closer, but I don't want to be in Inglewood itself.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it is kind of just a shitty neighborhood, so.
I mean, that's most of LA, so.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are becoming the new Patriots. They are.
I mean, that was kind of obvious, like, outside of the ref calls, though, because, like, no other team is as close to, like, going on as much of a run as they are. Like, the two Super Bowl, like, it's one thing to go on a run like the frickin' 49ers, for example, but, like, the Niners don't have any rings to show for it. Like, in 3 of the last 4 NFC championships, they don't have a single ring to show for it. Like, and a Super Bowl appearance, too. Nothing. The Chiefs have 2 Super Bowl rings.
And 3 appearances.
4 of the last 4, I think. I could be wrong, actually. The AFC championships.
They've been to 6 straight AFC title games. 6
straight AFC title games, and they have 2 rings to show for it.
And 3 Super Bowl appearances.
That's insane. Teams would kill for that kind of run. Teams would kill to do what the Rams did, but they only got 1 ring. Teams would kill for that. I'm sounding biased there, but it's hard. My point is, it's hard enough just to get 1 ring.
I mean, they would kill. They would kill for what the Rams got, except they would not kill to have what you guys had the following season.
But what we had in the following season's kind of worth it. Granted, they don't want to deal with all the injuries. That's
correct. No, correct. That's a good point.
It's hard enough to win 1 Super Bowl. The Chiefs have multiple and have come on the verge of winning more than the 2 that they already have, and can probably do so again with their core roster in the next few years as well. That's
unbelievable.
The Patriots.
And they might lose Travis Kelce.
The refereeing, the supposed ref bias nonsense aside, like, you look at their on-field results alone, and it's like no other team is close to what Patriots used to be. Like, the Chiefs are easily the next dynasty.
Can you imagine that the two of us are getting mad because the Chiefs hosed the Jets? Think about this for a second here.
Weird situation. Like, if this is oh my God, what a catch, DJ Moore. Serious. That was insane. Like, they cannot cover this guy. That was a hell of a catch, too, in double coverage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway. What was I talking about? The
Jets.
Like, the Jets, with Aaron Rodgers fully healthy, normally then it's just kind of like something that, like, we would just be talking about. Like, the Jets would have been expected to be competitive in that game.
Oh, yeah, their defense is insane.
The way Zach Wilson has been playing,
yeah,
I wouldn't think they'd be competitive in this game. And then, now we've gone from that to saying, like, we should have won this game.
Unbelievable when you think about the Jets' history. Once again, since 2020, when the Jamal Adams trade was made, they are 14-40. And I think the Jets' record since 2016, oh, good Lord. This is courtesy of statmuse.com. The Jets' record since 2016 is 35-83.
Oh my God.
That alone is funny to me. Including 2-14 the year they made the Jamal Adams trade, 2020.
What do...
That was coming eventually.
That was inevitable in this show.
It was inevitable. Very much so. Oh, I have a question for you I think you would love to answer.
Okay.
Could we see a mid-season coaching change in New England?
No.
No.
Not a chance.
No.
First of all, the Patriots don't even have the coach that's most likely to get fired mid-season. That honor goes to the team they just traded their old cornerback, or they got a trade and got their cornerback.
How the hell is Brandon Staley still employed?
Brandon Staley should have been fired after last playoff season. Like, that's...
Oh, man. That was funny. That was funny as shit.
You're not... Oh, my God.
Someone seriously brought up that question. Like, can we see Bill Belichick get fired? If somehow Bill Belichick, the man who has 9 AFC championships and 6 Super Bowl rings as a head coach.
People are going to argue that, like, oh, it was old Tom Brady, yada, yada. He's nothing about that. But he's still... Brady doesn't play defense.
No.
Belichick has to do the thing on defense. It's not like...
I get it. Darth Sidious is, like, vulnerable. I get it. But, like, Jesus.
My point is, it's like, just, you can't, like, he's going to go out on his own terms. What he has done for the Patriots and, like, the respect that he's earned from that organization and that management, he's going out on his own terms.
Oh, yeah. So, let's do a little history, shall we? The New England Patriots were a doormat franchise for 30 years prior to Bill Parcells going to New England in 95. Since then, obviously the Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls. They've been to 10 Super Bowls if you count the 96 team that lost to Green Bay. Mm-hmm. But I believe Robert Kraft bought the Patriots in 94 for, like, what was it, $300,000?
I'd have to check that. I don't know.
Fact check me, please, because I hope I'm wrong. And I think the Patriots right now are something worth north of $6 billion.
$175 million.
That's it?
Robert Kraft paid.
Wow.
That's cheap.
And they're worth how much now?
$3.8 billion.
I was off. Wow.
It's probably more now.
It's definitely more now. So, yeah. Bill Belichick absolutely deserves to go out on his own terms. And when that day comes, that man is getting a parade around Boston. Hell, the state of Massachusetts. Like, the Patriots were at one point on the verge of moving.
Yeah, I mean...
Think about that for a second here. The Patriots are not in New England without Bill Belichick. Granted, we hated the Patriots growing up, but deep down we respected them. Because they were a doormat for so long.
I mean, every team, I think, at one point kind of had that, like, happen throughout their franchise.
I had Jim Mora one year.
I didn't even, like, the Rams have, like, definitely gone through.
Oh, dear Lord, let's not even bring up Jeff Fisher.
Let's not.
No, we do not speak of him.
Oh, either? Oh, God.
What? You had Jeff... wasn't McDaniels the head coach of the... who am I thinking of?
I need to figure this out. I'm pretty sure...
Who was the head coach before Fisher?
Spagnuolo, right?
No kidding, he was?
Steve Spagnuolo, yep.
No shit. That's right.
He was not good.
No, he was not
good. He was arguably worse than Fisher, although Fisher was not great, so that's a low bar.
I mean, Fisher in Tennessee, though, was fantastic.
Yeah. And then he went to the team that beat him in the Super Bowl, and he was like,
And he was like, oh, shit. I'm fucked. Ironically,
a little distracted, by the way. I just noted. I forgot that there was also a Kings game on tonight, which is actually being televised in my area.
Oh, fantastic!
They're playing. It's Frozen Fury right now, which is being played in Salt Lake City at the home of the Utah Jazz.
Did you know that the Jazz were once in New Orleans?
I think I did.
That all makes sense now.
Explains why their name is the Utah Jazz.
That all makes sense. It makes so much sense.
That's why the Lakers are called the Lakers, because there's no lakes in LA, but they were in Minneapolis.
Yeah, they were from Minnesota.
The land of 1,000 lakes.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, did you see a certain... where the fuck am I going with this? Ah, yes. So the Seattle Mariners, who missed the playoffs this season by 2 games. Am I going to get you mad with this quote?
Depends what quote it is.
So, former Angels GM and current Mariners president of baseball ops, who is basically the GM, Jerry DiPoto, went on his annual end-of-season press conference, and a question was asked why don't you go all in? And his response was, if we went all in for a World Series every year, we'd be stuck in the mud. He says, I'm trying, well, to paraphrase here, we're actually doing the fans a favor by winning 54% of our games over 10 years and by not going all in World Series. This is, by the way, a team that has virtually done shit since 2001. They have made the playoffs once since 2001. I paraphrased the whole thing, but that's virtually what he said.
I mean, the thing about it is, like, teams need to rebuild.
The thing is, they've been rebuilding for 20 damn years.
I mean, yeah, they have, but, like, you can't, like, that quote out of context, it's like teams need to rebuild. So, like, you can't compete every single season as much as you want your teams to. It's
yes.
I don't know, but like you can't be stuck in a rebuild cycle for that long either. Like if it takes that long, eventually you're going to need like new ownership or something like that. Because
it's also infinitely easier to go all in in basketball and football. It's infinitely easier to do that.
It is. Look at the Rams.
Yeah, perfect example.
They saw the opportunity to get a bunch of the players that were with them on their Super Bowl run, and that's what they did. They made it happen, and
yeah. But I think the best example is the Rams. I mean, you see a lot of teams that quote go
stacked before they had Von Miller and OBJ, and then they got them, and now it's like,
yeah. Let's not forget you had a damn good defensive line in Aaron Donald's rookie year.
Yeah.
2014.
I miss having a good defensive line.
Oh, so good. It's nice, right?
It's quite literally Aaron Donald and everybody else right now.
Quite literally.
Although Aaron Donald is still being Aaron Donald, so it's not like they're doing bad and they're getting sacks.
Nah, yeah, he's still doing things. He's still doing things. But, yeah, I mean, he's right in certain respects, but for the wrong reason. Yeah, if you go all in on a championship, you risk having your team be fucked.
You do.
Look at the Padres. They are fucked.
Look at the Angels.
Well, the Angels are just weird.
That blew up in their face anyway.
The Angels are just weird.
They are very weird.
Artie Moreno, give him credit, spends money.
Clearly, it wasn't enough.
It was just whatever, but not my problem. But
True.
Speaking of Los Angeles, the Angels are in Anaheim, but like they're the LA Angels, whatever. Speaking of Los Angeles,
the Angels of Anaheim of Los Angeles of Anaheim.
Just call them the Anaheim Angels. It's so much easier.
I'm making a splash joke.
Good Lord.
I haven't talked to him in a while. Well, not too long, but
I haven't in a while. Either.
We gotta get him on that show eventually.
Yeah, we'll see him around eventually. But what have you heard of this Trevor Bauer case?
What? Like, have you not heard about the?
No, I've heard everything over the last couple of years.
Couple of days too.
So, yeah, that's what I was getting to. So, Jack, Bauer's one of your former players.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I believe him.
I believe him too.
I believe him.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it's probably not going to happen, but I think that the Dodgers definitely owe him an apology. Will I say they should go out of their way to sign him again?
Nope.
I'm not going to say no to that either because our pitching core has been very injured this season, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's a necessity. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, no, like, I'm not pounding the table like, oh, you need to go get this guy right now. But, like, I think they do owe him at least an apology.
People fuck up.
Some of his salary money back, too.
Oh, he should sue Major League Baseball. I would go as far to say that.
Sue all of them, I'll be honest.
Sue all of them.
But, like, I don't think he's about that. I don't think he's about, like, trying to get in more legal shit. I think he just wants to pitch. He wants to enjoy playing the game.
Dude, he seems like a genuine good guy. Like, I'm going to enter some really deep waters here, but I was for the Me Too movement for a hot minute. And then the second I see this shit pop out, to where, what's her name? Lindsay Hill lied about a domestic violence case.
Yeah.
That's where I go, you lost me. Because understand this. I'm going to get real here. People fuck up all the time. No one is perfect. In fact, perfection is flawed. Even God himself ain't perfect. You know why? He made your ass. It's fucking true.
Yeah.
It's fucking true. If we spent an eternity trying to find trying to be perfect, oh, we'd fuck up all the time.
We would. People make mistakes trying to be perfect.
We all make mistakes in our own unique, messed up and or fucked up way.
Mm-hmm.
I am not immune to mistakes. Jack is not immune to mistakes. Donut certainly is not immune to mistakes. We've covered that with Donut, but the fact
I ruined an entire episode at one point.
Oh, that was hilarious. It was hilarious. But Lindsey Hill should be thrown in jail.
Yes.
I would be the first to say that. The fact that this woman is not thrown in jail, actually, there is a reason why this woman has not been thrown in jail. Because the whole feminist community would lose their minds when they could do a little thing called research and actually do their fucking research on this shit instead of jumping to conclusions on everything. Which, granted, that sums up this entire society today. But Trevor Bauer should be pitching in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. He's got the talent to do it, too. It's not like he's fallen off either.
What is he, a 2-time Cy Young winner?
I think so.
2-time Cy Young winner with the Cleveland Indians. Oh, yeah. They're still the Indians to me. Go fuck yourself.
Never going to call them the Guardians.
Never.
That's never going to stick. It's not that I think they should be called one thing or the other. It's just like that name is never going to stick for me.
There's a whole movie dedicated to the Cleveland Indians. Major League. Charlie Sheen.
I've heard of that movie.
Great movie. Fantastic movie. But this whole woke Me Too movement bullshit is like, after a while, you lose all credibility. It's like, what is your fucking agenda? Is your agenda to, like, actually show the truth in certain... Now, granted, there are certain things where domestic violence does happen. Let's not dispute that. That shit happens all the fucking time, and there are cases that take so fucking long to go through courts because deep down there are some courts that will say, what if this is a lie? That happens.
Just take an eternity in general. Like, there's not really any avoiding it. They always take forever.
Yeah, they always take an eternity because
it always takes time.
Because it is a tricky rope to cross.
It is.
This is where doing a little thing called research comes in handy. And then Trevor Bauer said, fuck it. Trevor Bauer pulled a Thanos and said, fine, I'll do it myself. And and brought this whole thing to him on his own shoulders. He had balls to do what he did. He had massive balls to do what he did.
Yeah.
And that is send out a video of everything that has happened, including videos and text messages of everything. I mean, he's probably not going to pitch in Major League Baseball again.
He probably won't.
Which is a damn shame, because he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
I always was a fan of how open he was. You don't really see that kind of thing with professional players.
Never.
These days. No one, like, he's like uploading vlogs and stuff like that. You're seeing him talking with freaking Dave Roberts was appearing in those vlogs. It was hilarious. Like, you don't see that kind of thing. You wouldn't expect like a head coach to like want to appear in a player doing something for their own, like, I guess it's not their own.
I mean, Pete Carroll might.
Bauer had his reasons to do a vlog in the first place.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer seems like a genuinely good dude. Like, he seemed like a genuinely good dude. That's when 2 years ago when this whole thing happened, I was a little skeptical at first because I said, something doesn't seem right here.
Yeah.
Why would this come out?
I didn't say anything directly, but like, yeah, no, that's just kind of...
It just... There's always the little fish in the back of your head going, what happened here?
Yeah. It happens every time something like this comes up.
Yeah. And he even brought up, like, he even said things straight up, like, dude, I didn't do shit. I did nothing.
The thing is, though, at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff is just like, there's a lot of private details, and you want to wait for all the information to come out.
You have to.
You have to, because like I don't know. I don't like rushing to conclusions in that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, as bad as some of that situation, some of those situations may seem, you always want to wait for the facts. And you want to let the processes take care of themselves. Like, And it's not something to like obsess yourself over either. It's like you don't have to constantly like be refreshing a Twitter feed, being like, are they ever going to release a statement on what happened or crap like that? Like,
Yeah. Look at Deshaun Watson. There's another example. The dude was, again, say what you want about that case, whatever, but like, he got Me Too'd.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was a horny bastard trying to get a handy. That's essentially what happened.
Yeah.
He wanted to get a handy from a masseuse. Let's be real, that shit happens all the time in Los Angeles. And probably New York City, depending on where the hell you are. But you might get an STD in the process.
It's a Florida thing either.
Yeah, specifically Miami. A lot of cocaine in Miami. Good Lord. Anyway.
Should probably move on to more positive.
But
topics.
I'll say one thing, but like, manipulation's a fucked up thing.
It is.
Like, she manipulated this man's career.
Yeah.
Essentially, to get some cash.
And like that text that Bauer was leaking to.
Yeah, to get some cash.
She was intent on getting his career down the pipeline, and it was like,
I'd be the first to say that I've been manipulated numerous times. I mean, I haven't told you like stories about like personally, but in relationships, it has happened to me numerous times. Friendships, it has happened to me numerous times where I've been manipulated, but in my head, to do things because of my significant other or friends or even family have done to try and get me to do shit in their favor. That has happened. So this whole thing just reeks of go fuck yourself. Again, I don't know who to I believe Trevor Bauer from a personal belief.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to make our own decisions, though, at the end of the day, because we're never going to know the full story. We weren't there.
Never.
And it's like...
Never.
Yeah.
Look at Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, that's enough. But, like, even then, it's just... This shit happens all the time, and there's never enough detail. No. Never. Almost never.
At the end of the day, these are, like, people who's, like... trying to see that we should respect as well. Like they're human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah. They're not robots and they're not pieces of meat. They got feelings. Just like you, just like me, just like all of y'all listening today. Oh, good Lord. I want to play Halo. Random transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we could just trash Taylor Swift on Twitter. She seems cool, though. I would chill with her.
Like, if she's growing the audience, then she's growing the audience, and the NFL is going to play to that, of course. But
oh, good Lord, their Twitter account.
Beforehand are just kind of sick of it, because it's like, I don't really care. I'm not a Swiftie. I like some of her songs. It doesn't make me a Swiftie. I don't, like, follow her obsessively, like, trying to get tickets to her shows or anything like that.
Yeah. I found a picture of the Commanders or the Redskins all black uniforms, and they are beautiful.
They are pretty good.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
I could do without the lines below and above each name.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Otherwise, it's like they're pretty cool.
Can we do a blackout? Like, if we had all teams do, like, blackout uniforms, how fucking cool would that be?
I could actually mod that into Madden 24. I figured out how to mod that game.
Of course you did. That doesn't shock me one bit.
Staring at me like, of course he figured that out. Like,
I mean, the computer genius with the 3 monitors over here.
I've already done it for the Rams, so it's like I could do it for...
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I think teams, like, if they can make a blackout work, they should go for a blackout. There has to be some kind of a splash in color in there, too. Don't do what the LA Kings are doing, where they're sticking, like, with a totally, like, monotone black and silver and white, and it's like...
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Like, they won the Stanley Cup with it, sure, but it's at some point, it's like the fact that there hasn't been any color in it whatsoever is like,
Yeah.
you need colors in there. They need the purple back at the very least. You saw how well their reverse retros are doing.
Oh, they're nice. I will still die on this hill. The NFL needs to do a reverse retro week.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Something else I could mod in Madden.
The Seahawks are doing reverse retros, and good lord, it's beautiful.
I don't know if it's a reverse retro, but
Those jerseys are fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
those jerseys are gorgeous. They're wearing them against Cleveland at home. I'm so excited.
Oh, what a shot, Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's on the Kings now.
He is, or sorry, he likes to be called PL Dubois now, but either way, that was a beautiful shot.
Huh?
Yeah, he changed his preference, I guess.
He embraced Los Angeles bullshit culture, I see.
Probably.
Good fucking lord. My name is Asparagus Johnson. I'm Capri Sun McGee. Damn, I want to go for Capri Sun now. Fuck.
I haven't had this in forever. They changed the recipe and it tastes gross.
I had a running joke that I think you would fucking love. So, back in the early days of the podcast, as in like a year or two ago, I would come across like OnlyFans girls promoting their page on Twitter. And one of them went like, "Do you think you could get enough of me?" And my response was, "No, because I can't match the Power Pad taste to Sunny D."
Play the sounds.
There's the title of the pod. There's the title of today's show. Can't match the Sunny D. Sunny D.
Match the awesome power of Sunny D.
You can't match the power. You can't match the Power Pad taste of Sunny.
Oh God,
that's a long title.
That really is, but we're gonna roll with it.
Oh, whatever. Because there's also in parentheses featuring 2023 NHL preview. What a fucking transition! Oh, good lord. Oh, Jack, we're finally here.
Hockey. It is on my screen right now. It's just preseason, but
where's the buttons? Hockey. Wrong button. There it is. I gotta label these things.
Did you see a pick six?
I love how Jack's ADHD just like distracts him.
I just turned to the football game. Okay, it wasn't a pick six, but it was an interception. Okay, back to hockey.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day.
Fucking love this thing.
I need to figure out if my voice mod soundboard would connect to Skype.
I don't think is it connected via USB?
No, it's virtual soundboard. Like
I don't know if it's gonna work. Then you might have to get one.
Oh boy.
Delightful. They're not that bad.
Anyway,
hockey.
We're talking hockey.
Hockey's here. Thank God. Finally made it.
Opening night is
Tuesday.
A week away.
Tuesday.
Next coming Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
I won't be around for most of it as much as I'd like to be because I'm going to be in Vegas. I don't know if I told you this.
You did not.
I'm going to the NASCAR race that's in Las Vegas in a couple weeks.
You're going on Vegas Freeway? What the fuck is it called? Raceway.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway is what it's
called. That's a fucking nice raceway.
Yeah.
I will tell you that. It's nice.
They upgraded their garage recently.
Oh, good lord. It's nice.
I'm not going to watch as much hockey as I want to, but thank God. First of all, the Rams are playing the Cardinals. That's a missable game because I think the Rams will kill them. But it's I don't even know how much hockey is going to happen that weekend, and I don't care because hockey's back and we're all going to be absorbing it for the next several months.
So much chaos. So much chaos.
There's so much chaos to be
We love it. So, Jack, how do you want to do this? So, we have our 16 playoff teams, 8 per conference.
I I listed them out by the format, so I have my top 3 in each division and my wild card teams for each conference.
Okay, so do you want to start things off with the Western Conference? I will go after you.
Let's do it. Okay.
So you go.
We'll start out in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
My 1 seed, the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay.
My 2 seed, the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
3 seed, this one might be a bit of a reach. I don't really give a shit. The Nashville Predators at number 3.
Okay.
In the Pacific, my 1 seed, the Los Angeles Kings. They're that good.
I believe you.
Sounds biased, but they are that good this year.
Okay.
Number 2, the Vegas Golden Knights. I hate to admit it, but
Sure.
the Knights still have a very strong roster.
Sure.
Number 3, again, same thing, Edmonton Oilers. Hate to admit it, but you got Connor McDavid, you got Leon Draisaitl. Couple more pieces, I think, and they're going to be the 3 seed. Wildcard teams, number 1, the Seattle Kraken. Number 2, the Minnesota Wild.
Okay. Okay.
That's the West for me.
All right. I like these things. We all enjoy these things. MLB is investigating former Mets GM Billy Epler of improperly using the injured list.
That is such a New York Mets moment.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't surprise me at all. So I am with you with the West Division winners. I do think LA wins the Pacific and Colorado wins the Central. I do have the Avalanche winning the President's Trophy, though.
I think this season for the Kings is, as I say this as I'm watching them play right now, they're destroying San Jose. Well, they're not on the scoreboard, but the shots are 7-2. So the Kings' top 9 this season is probably the most dangerous in the NHL, or it's definitely up there. I think the Kings are a top 3 roster in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Hate as much as you want on the PLD trade, but I think it only made the Kings better. Yes, I hate to lose Velarde and Iafallo.
Yeah.
You're giving guys who have lingered in the bottom 6 who probably deserve more of a look on the roster. Guys like Arthur Kaliyev. Kaliyev got suspended recently, which is unfortunate as hell because he got suspended for way too many games, but it is what it is. But he's going to get, once he comes back, he's going to get a big role on the line with Pierre-Luc Dubois, with Kevin Fiala. Dubois and Fiala look insane in the preseason. I can't wait to see them in the regular season because so far in the preseason, they look damn good together.
Good.
I think what you're banking on with the top line with Kopitar, Fiala, and Kopitar, Byfield, and Kempe is that Byfield is able to recover from whatever it was he was dealing with the last year. Turns out that he had some wrist issues going on. He said he couldn't feel his wrist for most of the year, which is unfortunate and probably a large reason why his scoring numbers were very, very low. So I think the Kings are banking on him being able to bounce back from that and scoring a lot more this season because that's what they need out of him.
Yeah.
2nd overall pick, you need scoring.
Yeah, he was drafted for a reason, yep.
Granted, he was a center at the time, and the Kings wanted to build on their center depth, but now they have that center depth, and they don't need him to be they've realized that Byfield is more effective as a winger. So you've got a top 3 center depth of Anze Kopitar, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and Philip Deneau. Are you kidding me? And that's just a center. They still have the it's called the nice line because their jersey numbers add up to 69. Victor Arvidsson, Philip Deneau, and Trevor Moore. I mean, that line has been insane for the Kings the last few years.
I love Arvy. Arvy's awesome.
Arvy's so good.
I love Arvy.
Don't get in the way of that slap shot. Defensively, I think was a thing too for the Kings. They needed a few more left-handed defensemen. They got the Gavrikov extension. Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty on that top line. You got Matt Roy with Vlad Gavrikov. I don't even remember what their third defensive line is. Actually, they brought in Andreas Englund.
Who's the goaltenders again?
The goal. So this is the interesting situation with the Kings. The goalies are kind of the only question mark. Phoenix Copley and Cam Talbot are the top 2, and then David Rittich is the third goalie.
Talbot as a backup is pretty good.
I don't know if Talbot is going to be the backup. It feels to me like they're going to be rotating Copley and Talbot again.
Okay.
With another Bears touchdown, by the way. Yeah, no, this is a team that, like, I think just goalie is kind of their biggest question right now. But as we saw, as much as I hate to admit, because of what happened with the Golden Knights, like, you don't need a big tier like Connor Hellebuck, Andre Vasilevsky, or whoever. Not that Vasilevsky was a free agent, but whoever was a free agent, like, or whoever was requesting a trade, whatever it may be, like, you don't need a top tier goalie. You can have a guy like Aiden Hill who came out of nowhere. You just need someone who can get hot at the right time, and that's what happened to Copa. That's why the Kings' playoff hopes last season were still alive for as long as they were, because Cal Peterson was struggling, Jonathan Quick was struggling. They brought Korpisalo in, and Copley. Well, this was after Copley got hot, but, like, Copley did get hot, and it was enough to, like, impress the Kings enough to the point where he's the starter now. And it's like, you know, they needed him to do his job, and he came in there and did his job and kind of stole the net from Quickie. And I think it kind of shows us Kings fans, like, how much of a luxury we've had the last several years. That, like, because pretty much up until last season, it was, like, given, like, Jonathan Quick's the number one goalie on this team. And now it's just kind of like everything is up in the air a little bit still, but Copley looks good in the preseason so far. Talbot looks fine, decent so far. I'm expecting Copley will get the start on opening night. That's just my review of the Kings, though, because their roster, I would say, has had the most turnover this past offseason. I will say that Pierre-Luc Dubois trade.
You were skeptical.
I'm not really that skeptical because I like what he brings to the Kings, but that trade kind of shows you where their stance is. This is a team that is competing for a Stanley Cup this season.
Oh yeah,
they're not. We want to make the playoffs. We'll consider, like, winning a series. They are competing for a Stanley Cup this season, and the next, like, the Stanley Cup window over the next few years is going to be open. If they can't win it within the next 3-4 years. Then you're looking at them cleaning house. You're looking at new GM, probably a new head coach. This is the last year of Tom McClellan's head coach contract, so we'll see what happens there. But I think that the Kings need to be taken as a serious threat this season. They really look like they've upped their game, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they go on to win the division. It won't surprise me if they don't, because throughout their 50-plus year history, they've only won one division title, but I think realistically they have a shot to win the division.
Okay.
I'm going to rest my voice now. My throat hurts.
Yeah. All right, hold on. So I accidentally deleted everything. I don't know how I did that.
Your predictions?
Everything.
What's everything? Like the
whole topics page.
Okay.
So it's including the playoffs predictions, but it's you win some, you lose some. All right, so where did I leave off? I said the Kings, and then you went on a tirade.
I mentioned the Kings. I went into that spiel.
Okay. Avalanche win the President's Trophy. Kings at 2. They win the Pacific. Vegas, the Kraken, Seattle Kraken. Dallas, St. Louis, Edmonton, and Nashville. Edmonton and Nashville in the wild card.
I don't know about St. Louis.
You know what? I was skeptical. I had Chicago in there for like 2 seconds. I'm just joking with you.
No, you're not serious.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm not serious.
You're not serious.
I'm not serious.
Nothing outside of Bedard.
I'm not serious. I'm not serious. I really don't know who to pick for the last wild card, truthfully. It's hard.
I honestly, when I made these predictions, I wasn't sure about Minnesota. I wasn't sure whether to make them a playoff team. I think they're almost like guaranteed first round.
Yeah,
if they do make it. Like, I'm running into the dilemma of who's better than them. I don't think too many teams are like great compared to the Wild are great compared to too many other teams, or however that sentence goes. How should that sentence go?
I don't know these things.
I don't think too many teams are great compared to the Wild, but I don't think the Wild are great compared to the teams above them.
Yeah. Okay, so
you know how much I hate Kirill Kaprizov.
yeah,
I figured him out. He's a stat patter. He is nothing but a stat patter. He plays for his own stats and then vanishes when it matters.
Can we
One goal in 6 playoff games last season.
Can we talk about the East?
Let's talk the East.
Because you're going to go on a tirade about Kirill Kaprizov, and then we're not going to be off topic for 4 hours.
True. Kaprizov's overrated.
Shut up.
That's all I have to say.
It's enough with you. Talk the East. What do you got for the East?
All right, let's go Atlantic first.
All right, go.
Number one, Tampa Bay Lightning. Number 2, and the Lightning one might actually be hurt a little bit because I forgot Vasilevsky's going to miss some time, but
Yeah.
I still think they're going to be the 1 seed at the end of the day.
Okay.
Number 2, Boston Bruins. Number 3, Florida Panthers.
Okay.
Metro. Number 1, New Jersey Devils. Not a lot of teams are touching the Devils this year. Like the Devils are a legitimate threat as well. They're probably the best team in the whole East, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
Number 2, Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Number 3, the Island. Your face when I said that.
We like these things.
New York Islanders are my 3 seed in the Metro. As for the wild card teams, number 1, the Toronto Maple Leafs
Really?
in the wild card.
Okay.
I still think they're a playoff team. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs, but I think they are a playoff team. I just think that many teams are better than them in the Atlantic. The Atlantic's a stacked division, honestly.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's top heavy, I'll say.
Okay.
Number 2, this one might be a little bit of the chaos. This one, I don't know how you feel about making this prediction. My number 2 wild card team this season is the Buffalo Sabres.
I'm not against it.
I think the Sabres have been making a steady climb over the last several years. You got guys like Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck.
I'm not against it.
I can't remember off the top of my head too many other people.
Owen Power, Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah, Owen Power, Rasmus Dahlin. Who's their goalie that they got to?
Crap, who was it? I can't remember.
It's like a
Google.
Who's it? It's like he was like their big like goalie that they called up from the minors.
Google.
Devin Levi.
Okay.
Devin Levi. So
Okay.
I think I just think that the
Yeah. Not against it. Not against that idea.
I think they've just been making a steady climb. They were agonizingly close to making the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, I think they clean up a few more things. I think this year's the year they finally figure it out. Again, do I think they're going to do anything in the postseason? TBD. I mean, the Panthers, I think, are being viewed as a legitimate threat now, but last year nobody really viewed them as such. Although they do have a recent President's Trophy as well, so
Yeah, it's true.
it's worth thinking about.
Okay. Are you ready for me to shock you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I do have Buffalo in the wild card, same as you. My first wild card team is last year's President's Trophy winners, the Boston Bruins.
Okay.
Look at their team. Bergeron's gone. Krejci's gone. A lot of that core is gone. Bertuzzi is gone.
They're your President's Trophy winners, are Boston.
Yes, they are the President's Trophy winners. I look at Boston and I don't see anything that just poof pops in my face. I look at teams like Toronto.
Oh my God, Copley just made a hell of a save.
Okay, I look at teams like Toronto. I look at teams like Florida. I look at Tampa.
Uh-huh.
And I think all 3 of them are better. Not by a lot, but by a decent amount.
This is why I had them as the 2 seed, because I don't think, like, I don't know, like, the Boston just has, like, whether you like it or not, Sharks just scored. Why stop talking for a second? It's sequenced by Copley, but they just couldn't.
Jesus Christ, Jack.
I'm absorbed, man. I'm absorbed.
You and your 3 monitors.
What was I talking about?
Boston.
They choke. They're a choking team.
Thank you.
That's kind of where I was going with that, is that they don't have this like whole threat in the postseason. Like, yeah, they put like it's just a matter of like, are you going to get hot when it matters? And I don't think the Boston Bruins are going to do it this year.
Yeah,
they didn't really make any major
exactly.
They have pasta long term.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's why I'm saying, like, they don't have any major threat outside of David Pastrnak. That's it.
Outside of Pasta, outside of Marchand.
Well, Marchand's the captain now, which was as obvious as it may come.
You know what's hilarious is I actually drafted him in fantasy, and he was one of my last picks. Like, the fact that he fell as low as he did in my league's draft was an abomination.
Yeah. In the Atlantic, number 3, I have Tampa Bay. Number 2, I have Florida. In the Metro, Carolina. And then I have the New York. I have the New York Islanders.
I think you're wrong if you have any team below or above New Jersey.
Yeah,
division.
Yeah, they're coming. Toronto wins the Atlantic, and then New Jersey
wins the Atlantic,
and then New Jersey is the top of the East.
Okay, I don't know. It's hard. I don't really know.
I think
my thing about Toronto is that they're in the same division as Boston, Florida, and Tampa, and it's like I don't know if like any team is like really.
I have Toronto in.
I don't know if like they're going to be better than those teams. That's why I have that, because I think they're good enough to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
That's why I have them in the wild card. I just don't know if they're good enough to be like where they are.
They are a boom or bust team. That's essentially what Toronto is. And yeah, they signed Matthews to another bridge deal, is essentially what that is. But you have to risk a lot of shit in order to go win as many games as you're projected to win. They might trade some of that core away if they start to fall apart. How many teams do you think are on the table, say, we want William Nylander for this much?
I really don't know.
Exactly.
It also depends on like what team needs his position. So
exactly.
That could change. It's like all fluid. That could change throughout the year.
And Mitch Marner, there's another one. If Mitch Marner was on the trade block, how many teams trade from?
I don't know. Again, like I'm trying to say, it just depends on need for those teams. Like,
yeah, but I like their roster. I think they got a little better than what they are last year. They got the
Austin Matthews.
Well, they got the monkey off their back from the playoffs.
They did. I think that's kind of a big thing. Like, yeah, they lost the round after, but the fact of the matter is,
well, they got their ass kicked by Florida.
They did, but the Panthers were just a juggernaut last year. It was crazy.
Yeah, they got hot at the right time.
At the same time, you know, that's I think mentally that should help the Leafs a little bit.
Oh yeah,
they finally got over the hump. They're like, now we know we can win a playoff series.
Yes,
it's just a matter of what can we do next.
I want to hear your thoughts about why did you pick the Islanders to go that high? I love how we both didn't put the Rangers in. You must think that the way I do about the Rangers this year.
I forgot completely about the Rangers. If I'm gonna be honest, so I completely forgot about the Rangers.
I think the Rangers are in a similar situation when they did with Lundqvist. They're relying so much on Shesterkin to bail him out.
Yeah, they've got pieces. They've got Shesterkin.
Their depth is gone. They have no depth.
That's the thing. They have no depth, and they like. What the hell's going to happen with Patrick Kane? He's not around still.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent, and it's like, oh my god, could you imagine if Patrick Kane goes to the Red Wings like some people are suggesting he might? If you're a Blackhawks fan, the sodium chloride levels are like...
We're talking Brett Favre with the Vikings.
Yeah, like...
Can you imagine Brett Favre playing for the Bears? That'd be funny.
Like,
That'd be hilarious to think about.
It's like for Kings fans, if Dustin Brown came out of retirement and signed with the Ducks or the Golden Knights.
Or the Sharks.
Or the Sharks, yeah.
Probably a better example is the Sharks, because they've been around longer. Longest.
Yeah, they have, actually.
But,
hockey has been around in the Bay Area longer than it's been around in
California Golden Seals. There's another one.
That was a disaster and a half.
But, like, I look at the Rangers, I see Panarin, I see Zibanejad, who's hurt, and I see your old running mate, Jonathan Quick, in New York.
Quick does not look good in the preseason.
He does not. But it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you're relying on Igor Shesterkin to bail you out again. And
yeah,
with the case of the Islanders, yeah, their defense was iffy. Well, they downgraded. Well, they regressed last year because Pelech and Pulock were both hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Pelech doesn't get hurt. Well, in the playoffs against Carolina, his wrist was gone. He had no wrist. And Sorokin, good fucking lord.
Yeah, I mean,
you get a full season of Bo Horvat and Pierre Engvall. More importantly, Bo Horvat.
That is huge. So now that they get to see
Yeah.
what Bo Horvat can really do.
You get a full season of Horvat and Barzal and probably Oliver Wahlstrom on that first line.
Shout out to Bo Horvat for being the only player in history to have a Western Conference All-Stars jersey that had a New York Islanders patch on it.
Yeah, it was weird. But, I mean, I'm excited for the season. I want to see the offense start clicking. Truthfully.
I want to see... I'm so disgusted by what happened at the end of last season that I want to see a team knock Vegas off the top.
Yeah. I don't have a Stanley Cup pick because it's hard to pick one this year.
I don't either. I think it usually is very, very hard to make a Stanley Cup pick this early.
Hell, Florida made it to the final.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing about the playoffs is, like, we know more than anything in this sport. I know specifically from experience.
Yeah, you knocked off Vancouver.
The Kings in 2012 should not have gone on the run that they did. They were the 8th seed. No one expected them to do shit. And they go on and they were up 3-0 in every series against the 1, 2, and 3 seeds in the West that year.
Yeah.
And then
one of them was the President's Trophy winners.
Exactly. And the Kings just got hot at the right time, and they that's kind of the exact same thing with what happened with the Panthers.
Quick entering cheat codes definitely did help.
Yes, as well. And like the Panthers did the same thing with Bobrovsky too. Like there's so many parallels between those two teams. Granted, the Panthers didn't go up 3-0 in every series that they were in, and they didn't win the Stanley Cup. But at the same time, that just goes to show you, the regular season is quite literally a clean slate. Like you can predict as much as you want based on what happened in the regular season. It truthfully doesn't really matter that
you have
much.
a hot goaltender, you have a shot.
It matters a little bit, but with a clean slate, if you get a hot scorer, you get a hot goalie especially too, you can really make noise in the postseason no matter what team you're up against or what seed you are. Like
the Islanders did. Now I want to hear your thoughts on this because you're not on Isles Twitter, obviously.
No.
So Isles Twitter for the better part of 2 years has been clamoring for Lou Lamoriello to be fired. You're the look on your face. What do you mean surprised? Like, what the fuck?
I'm not surprised. I mean, like,
why?
Because it seems, I don't know, they're not too pleased with Lamoriello.
Well,
I'd love to hear your argument either way, but
my thoughts on this are: you think you can run a hockey team better than a general manager who is in the Hall of Fame?
It's hard.
Yeah, I would love to see these fans try, and they are my people. But at the same point, when you're saying that, oh, Lou needs to do this, Lou needs to do that, first of all, you're not the freaking Yankees. Shut up. Number two, this is still a damn good team top to bottom.
It is. I mean, like, I have them above the wild card for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they put up a fight.
Yep.
They put up a fight against, like, the teams that you really don't expect them to put a fight against. Like, Tampa Bay on back-to-back conference finals occasions.
Like, scrappy teams. Like, their regular season Columbus, dare I say. Columbus is, like, obviously they were nowhere near a competitive team last season, but they were, like, a scrappy team. Like, they don't give you wins that easily. Like,
No, they don't.
They're not a punching bag like a team like the Ducks are, for example. Like,
Yeah. Or Detroit for a little bit.
yeah, like you're not gonna just walk into Columbus and get a win. And I think honestly,
you're not gonna go on Long Island and put up 6 goals. You're not.
I considered putting Columbus in the wild card.
I thought about Detroit for a hot minute. I really did.
Yeah, I don't think Columbus is gonna make it. I think they're like, obviously they have some good pieces.
Oh, good Lord, Columbus, Mike Babcock.
Yeah, that whole saga with Mike Babcock, they're still reeling from that, and it's like, ugh.
That's a whole NHL problem, though. They have this nasty habit of recycling old coaches.
Yeah, no league does it like the NHL.
Ken Hitchcock is a perfect example of this whole thing.
You don't see, like, if in the NFL, you're not going to see a team, like, hire, like,
Bill Levy.
freaking, I think the last example that I can remember is, like, Mike McCarthy. He was the head coach of the Packers. He got fired, and then he got hired as the head coach of the Cowboys. I can't think, or, like, Ron Rivera, I think, too. He was with Carolina at first, and then he became the head coach of Washington.
John Fox, there's another one.
There's another one. Like, you're not going to see it happen with too many head coaches where they get fired as a head coach and then they immediately go right to their head coaching position. You're always going to see nowadays in the NFL
Adam Gase,
at coordinators, assistant coaches.
I mean, Adam Gase.
Sean McVay was the head coach of, or no, he was, before he was the head coach of the Rams, he was the offensive coordinator for Washington. So, like, names can come from basically anywhere.
And was still unknown.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about, honestly. It really is.
Blessing in disguise.
Whereas in the NHL, I mean, that's what you're going to see. Like, when the Kings hired Todd McCullough, he was a head coach. When whoever hired, what's his name, Tortorella, is he still hired? I'm pretty sure he's still hired.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, like he was the coach of, like, I think Columbus too.
Columbus, Vancouver, the Rangers, Tampa.
Has been all over the place.
So a perfect example of this whole thing is when Todd McCullough got fired by Edmonton. Who did the Oilers hire right out of it? Ken Hitchcock.
Yeah, that led
perfect example.
Absolutely nothing.
But like, people are losing their shit on the Islanders about, like, oh, this team is not good enough. First of all,
who is your head coach, by the way?
Lane Lambert. Longtime assistant with Barry Trotz.
Okay. Honestly, there's worse options out there.
Yes. But it's one of those. The Islanders have probably the best defensive pairing in hockey in Adam Pelech and Ryan Pulock, who, by the way, are making less money combined than Artemi Panarin.
Would I say best in the league? Probably not, but it's definitely up there.
They're top 3.
Top 3 might be a bit of a reach, too.
Well, defensive defenseman. Like, not scoring 100 points at Erik Karlsson.
I get what you're saying. I'm not saying, like, oh, yeah, no, they're not scoring all the time. They suck, huh? Like, that's not what I'm saying.
Shut up. Okay, like, someone said that they would take Artemi Panarin over Adam Pelech and it is like, sure. Sure thing, pal. Artemi Panarin, who turns into a ghost at the worst of times. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player, but he's got to have a little bit more consistency.
Yeah, but, like, it's one of those weird things you look back and you say, why?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode. Time to BS with Standing Smooth. Jack, thanks for joining. Good Lord.
No problem.
We're fucking tired.
Almost went on another 2-hour episode. Probably did. I don't even know.
Hour and a half.
We had a disconnect in the middle of it, so it was fun. But yeah, hockey is hockey. We're excited to get going again. I look forward to the Kings killing the Islanders later on this season and bragging to you about it, as always. Donut has appeared in the background to say goodbye as well.
Where is she? Hey, what's up? Hey, you see her butt right there.
Yep.
There she is. What's up, Donut? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Smooth. I'm coming to you from the beaches of Long Island, New York, and I will see you all in this life or the next one. Peace out, guys.